Was good. Back. I think I'm gonna start posting. I'm. I think more so after games, especially with the finals. I don't want to post like in between games, unless I do like a pre-game. But I could just do that here because it's only a few days in between games. Um, yeah, we saw the Boston Celtics. They dominated. They dominated the Mavericks yesterday. I was watching the game, trying to see what both teams did well, what both teams didn't do that well, and something that I talked about in my last video was a few things actually that happened in game one. So Boston switches 1 through 5, or they get over the screens, and they did that really well yesterday. I also said that like Luka and Kyrie could get off, and they would just try to take everybody else out the game, and that's what happened because like those two are gonna get theirs. Even though Kyrie did not have a good game yesterday, 6 for 19 from the field, 12 points. I feel like he was letting the crowd get to him because, like, after the game, he's talking about it's not even that loud. Like, and then, like, he was making some errant fouls, errant turnovers. Like, he just wasn't in his element. And the fact that every time he touched the ball, he got booed. Literally every time he touched the ball, he got booed. But, impact players, Porzingis off the bench, 20. Big time. He really sparked a run in the first half that really, even though in the third quarter, the Mavs, Luka, let a little comeback to cut it down to 8. They couldn't bring it any closer to, Boston went on another run. So, yeah, Boston really dominated them. And I think Luka was gassed because Luka was tasked to Luka had to guard, but he didn't do bad. But Jaylen Brown will go by him. He somehow, I'm gonna talk about Tatum in a bit, but yeah. So Luka with 30 and 10, 1 assist. That's not him. That's not Luka like. But in reality, I think Luka's. They say he's like a pass first guard, but in my opinion, Luka is more of a score first guard, and I think people should have been known that, but. He's a score first guard with the mentality to score. If it's not there, he gonna pass it. And that's how it should be with everybody. Your first instinct should be to score. But the thing with him is I think that people he gets the team involved, he makes the team better. He does that when he can't score. Which is what everyone should be doing. Like everyone should be trying to be a better team player when their shot's not falling. But in my opinion, I think Luka, he looking for lobs and he looking for you to be open in the corner. He not calling that pick and roll, hitting the roll man with a bounce pass for a layup. He looking for that lob when he can't get his shot off, if you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, Luka did what he had to do. I think the fact that the Celtics switching 1 through 5 that threw the lobs off. There was no lobs yesterday, and I watched none. But yeah, Kyrie didn't have the best game. PJ did what he did what he could with what he had. He didn't shoot the best. He didn't have the best shooting game. He had 14 on 5 of 11 shooting, 8 rebounds. Jaden Hardy came in at the end and got his. So that was basically it, man. PJ 14, Derrick Jones 5. He wasn't the best defender last night. I was watching, but Tatum they tried to take Tatum out the game. So that was Jason Kidd's game plan. Whenever Tatum touched the ball, crash him, blitz him, no matter what. And I watched it. Gaffer with 8. They couldn't get a lot of his were off putbacks. You can't. When when you can't get the lob threats, him and Lively are lob threats. Luka, like I said, 30 and 10. Kyrie, 12. Got to be better. He knows this situation. No excuses for him to play like that. I don't really know what happened with him. Josh Green with a 3. Kleber not really bringing the minutes that he should be bringing off the bench. Lively, he basically fouled out the game early. Lively, he's a young guy, man. I like him. He has a lot of potential. One of my favorite rookies. A lot of his fouls were just dumb. You can't really do much when he's a little lankier, a little skinnier. Not that skinny, but when a guy like Jaylen Brown or Tatum drive straight at your chest, you want to stay vertical. This is what JJ Redick was talking about. I was talking to my dad about this yesterday watching the game. It's hard to stay vertical, man. Especially when somebody, like JJ Redick said, when like a stronger guy like Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown flings their body into you, your body is forced to and that's a foul every time because this is a legal contest. When your arms go down, it's not a contest anymore. It's a foul. So that's what happened with Lively yesterday. Really, he couldn't really do much. Tim Hardaway, he fell off the rotation. I don't know what happened with him. Exum, same. Powell, same. Like, those guys could be key pieces, but I don't think Jason Kidd gonna play him. And then for Boston, they just played better team ball. That's why I was telling people, I'm like, it's really Luka and if Kyrie plays good versus Luka, Kyrie, and PJ. Because PJ can create his own shot. Luka, Kyrie can create their own shot. PJ can create his own shot. Other than that, nobody else, other than Jaden Hardy off the bench, can create their own shots. And for Boston, their whole starting 5 can create their own shots. And they move the ball very well. I know people are like, Boston has a lot of iso ball. The equivalent of iso ball is pick and roll when it gets iced. And you can't utilize the roller. So, same thing to me. A lot of isolate, not really iso, but one person holding the ball. Luka holds the ball a lot. Kyrie gets his touches, but in reality, Luka gonna hold the ball. And so for Boston, Tatum has 16, 11, and 5. He didn't have his best shooting night. You know me. I'm an advocate for Tatum, but that's not a Finals MVP type game. Even though I said he was getting double teamed, crashed. Like Luka was not guarding Jaylen Brown, but as soon as Tatum touched the ball, Luka was like, "Oh yeah, I'm finna." It's funny to see, man. I feel like Tatum, he got to have better games. He was. I'm not saying he had a terrible game. When his shot wasn't really falling or he couldn't get to the basket, he was facilitating, rebounding, playing good defense. He did what he was supposed to do. He's being an all-around player, and he took accountability after the game, saying he turned the ball over too much, and I agree. A lot of the times where he drove, and he should just throw it up for a lay. There's a better chance of him making a layup than trying to pass out of a shot, and that's a lot of the times that's a turnover or a tip pass. So I respect him for taking accountability, but accountability. Why did I say it like that? But he got to have a better game. Even though they won by, see, that's the thing. People like Tatum, blah blah blah. They won in by 20 without him. They won by 20 last night. Well, he got double teamed, harassed. I'm gonna say harassed, cause like a lot of the plays he got no call. He didn't get no calls really. He doesn't really get calls. But when he attacks, if he shoots the lay, he might get a foul. But he's trying to pass out of it, and I understand. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So Dallas, they tried to take him out the game, but he still scored 16. He shot 6 of 16 though, so that's not his best. That's not his best showing at all. But he's playing more all-around wing game. He don't got to score 30. They gonna win if he can display that. Jaylen Brown, 22, 6 rebounds. Crazy poster. Tatum had a nice little dunk too. He had a poster. Ripped Luka a couple. He was playing really good defense on Luka. Luka gonna get his, like I said, but like getting over the screens, I watched it. He played really good defense, and his energy. He brought the energy to the game. Him, Al Horford with 10 and 7. Al, big man. I feel like if Al wins a ring this year, he's a Hall of Famer. Drew with 12 and 8. Derek White with 15 and 2, 5 assists. Porzingis 6. Like that's Sam Hauser with 8 off the bench. Like, Pritchard's gonna come off the bench and bring that energy. They got a solid deep squad, and Porzingis came off the bench. He's the main one I want to talk about. With 18 in the first half, a lot of middies, threes, had a dunk around Lively. Came in, got a whole bunch of blocks. Like, he really brought the energy, and if he can stay consistent for this series, I'm telling you, it can get spooky if he starts. But I don't know if he gonna start. I feel like it's good that Mazzulla brings him off the bench. I truly just want to see what Jason Kidd does, what adjustment he makes, because the way they got beat yesterday, they got blown out, and they just seem more like a balanced team. I was talking with my coach yesterday. He's like, man, Boston just more balanced, and I was like, I'm trying to tell people that they're just a more balanced team, but Boston, they were clicking on. They hit a lot of threes too. So you live by the three, you die by the three. We gonna see next game. Next game is, to me, I think game 2 is big for Boston because they be losing game 2s. So Dallas, I'm not counting Dallas out whatsoever. If Kyrie has a good game, hey, he was playing well, but I feel like he let the crowd get to him. Got in his head. He started to, like I said, Aaron fouls, Aaron turnovers. And Drew Holiday and Derek White they're playing solid defense. You can't really do much. I know people like to count Drew Holiday out like he's not the best perimeter defender in the league. And him and Kyrie have had battles in years past. So I didn't even think I'm like Drew's going to play the best defense he can on Kyrie and just pray that he has an off night. But a lot of people were counting Drew out like Drew can't guard at all. Like, no, Drew can guard. Derek White can guard. Both All NBA defenders. And then as the game progressed and Luka started to get hot, they put Drew on Luka. So it's truly interesting. Like Porzingis last game. I'm trying to see his block. He had 3 blocks, and they were all energy shifters. They were all energy boosters. And those were big time plays because they ended up up 29 at one point, and then Dallas started to cut the lead to 8, and then they went back up and went on another run. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not counting Dallas out, but you know me, I gotta rock with my team. I gotta rock with Boston because I've been picking them. Can't switch up now. Can't be like, oh. So I got to stick with my team regardless. Win, lose, draw. Can't even draw in basketball. But I don't know. I want to see what Jason Kidd does next game because if it stays like this, the energy, the play, because the play somebody else got to step up for Dallas. And if they don't, it could be a sweep, bro. I'm not, unless there's a heroic game with 60 plus from Luka and Kyrie. Even then, somebody else has to contribute. Hey, but game 2 is gonna be pivotal, I think, for both teams. See how Jason Kidd responds. Mazzulla, he's also good at responding, but he had the game plan already to switch 1 through 5, and then let Luka get off. It don't really matter. They play your best defense on him. Let him get off. Just take everybody else out the game. And I truly think that if Boston can continue to play like this, the series will be over quick because Dallas didn't really have an answer. They did, but they couldn't keep that energy. See, Dallas plays at a slower pace, and when you let Boston speed you up and you miss shots, Boston plays at a faster pace. So they love teams like this who they can pick apart and speed up. So, in my opinion, game 1 was a big game. Everyone's like, it's only one game, but that's a big. I know we see Dallas; they've been here before, but I feel like they haven't. The only team they really been here before with was the Clippers, because the Clippers had that experience, just like these guys do in Boston. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's all I really got for y'all today. Just wanted to get on here and yap a little bit about the finals, my predictions. I think Boston takes game 2, but we'll see. Well, depending on how Jason Kidd adjusts, if he adjusts, because if he lets it stay the way it is, I'm telling you, man, team basketball is always better than a two-headed monster. 2.5 if PJ Washington's playing good. So it's really depending on if Jason Kidd can get the others involved. Because if it's just Luka and Kyrie, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. It's not. You see, Boston, they had 6 players with double digits. Their top 6 players, like these guys, all contributed. So yeah, like I said, just wanted to get on here for a bit. Yeah, a little bit about the finals. You know, my prediction's still the same. I said Celtics in 5 after Minnesota beat Denver. Because I truly thought Denver was the only team in basketball that could match up well with Boston. Second being the Clippers, probably. Because Clippers got rid of the Boston a whole bunch of times in the regular season. Even though Boston went 23-7 against Western Conference teams. So people were like, man, the West is just too dominant. But hey, we're going to leave it here. I'll probably be back. Since there's more time in between games, I'll try to get a video after each game. But hey, I'm just seeing it for what it is, and my prediction stands. So yeah, with that being said, I'm out.